Be prepared to be motivated to take control of your family finances. This is your opportunity to see a real life budget from one of our real life pearls. Our Pearl Norma is putting it all out on the table in order to help inspire and motivate all our other pearls to keep going. When you're trying to end living the paycheck to paycheck life, there are going to be some hard decisions to be made. Norma shares how her and her family have worked through this exact thing, what they've tried, what's worked for them, in hopes of helping you do the same thing. Today, you're gonna be able to learn from one of our real life pearls and take away strategies and tricks to apply to your own family finances to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck. Welcome back, Pearls. I'm Brittany, and this is Pennies into Pearls, where you can come for motivation and tips to stop living that paycheck to paycheck life. There is more to living than going to work just to pay the bills. You weren't put here on this earth to pay bills. There is so much more out there for you and your family. What do you want your life to be? What's holding you back? You need to be more intentional with your money and make it do what you want it to do. If that sounds like a life you desperately are in search of, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any tips. So is that you? Are you living paycheck to paycheck? Today's video is sponsored by my online course, 30-Day Family Finance Rescue. I know you feel stuck. You know that there has to be more to life than just living paycheck to paycheck. You have dreams for your life with your family, but they feel so far out of reach. How can you start getting your finances in order so you can gain traction working towards those goals? How can you start getting your finances in order so you can gain traction working towards those goals? There is so much information out on the internet that it can feel overwhelming almost. Where do you start? What's next? Maybe that would have worked for one family, but is it going to work for ours? That is why I put together a 30-Day Family Finance Rescue. You will first learn how to control your mindset connected with your money, get rid of your bad habits and bad attitudes associated with your finances. Then I show you how to create a customized goal-based budget. Also, how to create a financial action plan based off your top prioritized goals and how to work them into your current budget. No matter your income, I teach you how to make this work customized to your unique family finances. Enrollment for the course is currently open, but will close soon. To get more information on how to sign up so you don't miss your chance before it's gone, you can click the link in the description. And of course, if you have any questions about the course, leave me those down in the comments. Okay. Now, you know what makes you 1,000,000 times more likely to implement what you learn in this video today is if you take notes. So just get a scratch piece of paper and just start writing down what sticks out to you. What action steps can you start implementing in your own real life budget for your family? Like I said, just a piece of paper would work, but to make this process a bit more simple and organized, I put together a cute free printable to assist you in note-taking and action-taking. Use the link down below to sign up for my free weekly email newsletter, and the free printable will be sent directly to your email. And last piece of housekeeping before we dive into the interview with Norma is that if you are interested in sharing your story of rescuing your family finances, click the link in the description to do a one-on-one video chat with me. So fun! Remember, you don't need to have a crazy story. You don't have to pay off an insane amount of debt or achieved an unbelievable dream yet. It's the small wins along the journey that offer so much insight when shared with others. If you're working hard at rescuing your family finances and have had a big or small aha moment, that's what I want to chat with you about. Are you feeling inspired to share your story with our Pearl family? Help motivate other Pearls to stop living that paycheck to paycheck life. Again, the link to apply is in the description. If chosen, you'll receive an email with further instructions for scheduling a video chat. All right, it's time I finally introduced you to our Pearl Norma. I loved chatting with her. You are gonna love meeting her. She's an amazing wife and mom who's leading the way to live an exciting life with her family. They are making brave choices that they know are going to get them closer to their family's goals. Without further ado, let's jump into the computer and meet our Pearl Norma.
Hey Pearls, on today's video, we have something that I am so excited about. I have Norma here and she is here to share her family finance rescue journey with us. She is working through things right now and she's already learned a lot so far, kind of just how we all are. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick introduction to Norma and we're gonna just get started and diving deep into what it looks like to be working through a financial journey for your family. So Norma, would you mind taking just a second to introduce yourself?
Not at all. So I'm Norma. I live in California, Southern California. I have 3 girls. They're 15, 13, and almost 11 years old. So older kids. I've been married for almost 20 years. And I'm really happy to do this and to be able to share what this has done for me personally. Just in the last 4 weeks that I've been on this process.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's start off by when I say that we're all pearls, what that means to me is that we are just doing our best to learn little things along the way and start implementing them that are going to create a difference in our lives long term and really get us on a path that we're excited about working towards these goals. So what do you think it is that makes you a pearl?
Well, obviously, just being creative in the way that we structure our life. Like I said, I have 3 girls, so I don't exactly relate to a lot of these younger moms that have little kids who don't necessarily understand what the financial struggles are. But I have older girls, so they have been impacted through the struggles that we've faced. So just getting through those hurdles, and honestly what has happened is that we've just gotten them involved and been very honest with them and
That's
what
awesome.
the plans are and what we have to do to accomplish the goals that we now have for our family. So
That's great. Getting them involved. And do you think that kind of sharing a little bit of it as much as you need to helps them feel more okay with maybe some of the sacrifices that you guys are currently having to make?
Definitely. As a matter of fact, there's been times where they've said no. If my middle child, because she's a struggle, says, let's, what sounds really good today? Wingstop sounds really good today. But my oldest will say, no, we can't eat out. We said we weren't going to eat out,
Really?
So
That's awesome.
yes, it's actually been really great that way, for sure.
Wow, that's so cool. And they're learning so much along the way too with you. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
That's so perfect. I love that you said customizing your journey for yourself, because that's kind of what we all have to do, is like take bits and pieces from all the different places that we consume education and like tips and tricks, and then customizing it for your own family. And that's how you're going to make it work long term, because you might be able to make it work for a little bit with this one system, but customizing it is awesome. Yeah. So can you share with us what has been or what currently is your biggest struggle, or maybe what you've discovered has been holding you back from progressing and stop living that paycheck to paycheck life?
What has been the struggle for us for the last 20 years is just avoiding all the struggles. Self-gratification, instant gratification, I should say. We lived off of that so that we wouldn't, allow ourselves to get going on that emotional journey of, we have this coming up and we have that coming up, and the stress of that. And that was really it. It was avoiding it at all costs. I mean, I think back and it's so ridiculous. It really is. It really is. It's sad, because we have wasted so much time, and we could have been in a much better situation than we are right now.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
what you had written down before that I loved was that you said that sometimes that fear can just be totally paralyzing. Like you're just afraid. And I can relate to it 100%. That's exactly how we felt, is that, like we knew that there's things in our bank account that we just weren't doing right. But instead of like diving in and taking the emotional steps, like you said, to uncover them and then start getting rid of them, like it can be paralyzing. But if you just take those first steps, which is really just like going through your spending and saying, okay, like what can we do better?
Right.
It really is like liberating, because yes, at first it's like so scary, but once you get that part out of the way, then you start to see the light. Have you guys felt that at all?
Yes, and in the light in so many areas, not just financially. I didn't realize how much the fear had paralyzed me personally, outside of like with relationships, like with um my confidence, and I think that has been the biggest change in me, is like, no, all we have to do is just pay attention to it and have a game plan. And that has empowered me like so much. It I remember thinking that was invincible, that I could do anything, nothing could stop me. And then along the way you lose that, life hits you and you fall down. And I'm now I think about it, it's like, God, it's so, I wish I could get to that point. And now I see the light that way, like trying to find myself again and realizing that I could do it, that we could really do this. And it's just, it feels so good, because it's such a change of the, routine negative thoughts and, fear that just rule your life, really.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. I love that you brought that up, because I was just thinking that the other day, like, and so once you like get over some big hurdles, like so when we first started looking at paying off all our debt, it was daunting and scary. And it's like, man, this is going to take forever. And maybe it did feel like it took forever in the moment. But once you like have climbed that mountain, all of a sudden you're like, oh, we need a new car. We need to save $20,000. And then you're like, okay, we could do that. It's going to take a year or a couple years, but we can totally do that. And like you said, it's your confidence. It like improves all these different things. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. That's so good. So what do you think has been the biggest habit that you guys have had to work on so far?
I think for us, just staying on track, like with our routine, like making sure that I'm planning ahead, that we're sitting down together, my husband and I, talking about, okay, this week this is where our money's going, this is how much is going to be left over, where does that money need to go. So just that has been the biggest change for us, is that we're actually doing it and thinking ahead. And like you said, telling our money where to go.
Yeah.
And that was really it. That was it. That's all we needed to do. And we just wasted so much time not doing that. But here we are.
I know. So did we. I mean, that's everyone, right? So now we just look forward. So did you and your husband, was it pretty simple for you guys to get on the same page, or was one of you the one that was like, let's do this, and it was a little harder for the other?
No, it was not that way. It wasn't that way at all. My husband, God bless him, he has always talked to me about, we have to do something different. We need to, change our spending. Something needs to change. And I mean, for years and years and years, he's been telling me that. And I was just too afraid to make any changes, to be honest with you.
Sure.
And, this year it was just different for me. I thought we can't keep going this way. And it was probably because of my girls, because they're getting older and because they do understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have a sophomore in high school, and we only have 2 more years for her to go to, to go to school, to go
Mm-hmm.
on to college. And that just scares me, that keeps me up at night. So I thought, we need to make this change. And I told him, I'm on board. And I started looking up, I found you on YouTube, and I started just watching all your videos. And I said, I think I could do this. And we could finally, you know change things for us. And he was not as excited as I wanted him to be. And
Oh.
and yeah, he was not excited. And it was because I think he was a little bit resentful of the fact that, he'd been telling me all this time, all of these years, we have to do something. And then now, it was me that all of a sudden is excited and wanting to do this. And now he's like, well, why wasn't it important when I wanted to do it?
Right.
So I totally understood where he was coming from.
Sure.
And luckily, we've been able to, just through sitting down and talking and me sharing what I've been, doing through Family Finance Rescue, he is excited about it now. And, like I said, there's things that, we've grasped, and then we tweak them a little bit to adjust to our family's needs. And
That's
he's
so
totally
perfect.
on board. We're also excited about where it's going. Yeah.
That's exciting. That's really exciting, just to know that you're on the path to getting things. And even though like there's probably still some like hurdles to come, isn't just the feeling of knowing that you're on that path finally, like how much stress does that relieve?
A lot, a
Yes.
lot of stress. And it's like I said before, it's liberating. You feel like you could breathe again. You feel like, oh, I could, like I said, the confidence that comes with it, it's amazing. And the thing is that you didn't realize it before. You didn't realize how the day-to-day living, the fear just holds you back so much. And I had no idea. I really
It's
didn't.
so true. It's so
I
true.
had
When
no
you're
idea.
in the moment, you don't
Mhm.
realize it. But once you start to like dip your foot out of the water a little bit, you're like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
is way better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the big questions that we got when we did a poll on Instagram is lots of people are wondering like just how to get started. What's the very first step that you took? Was it like in 30-day Family Finance Rescue, we talk a lot about like the mental side of everything before you even start looking at the numbers, or is it habits, or what was it for you guys that was your first step just to like get started?
The very first thing I did was I wrote like 3 pages. I just started writing, like, I just kept writing and writing about what my perfect life, obviously I know that life is never going to be perfect, but
Sure.
what my ideal life would look like.
Yes.
And I just kept going and going and going, and just even being very detailed about it. And that was my first step. And then came the, oh, okay, so in order to do that, these are the steps that need to happen before that. And then obviously breaking the bad habits,
Mm-hmm.
and for us, the biggest habit, the worst habit that we have was eating out. That was
Yes.
that was it. That, I mean, we used to eat out 4 times a week. Now we eat out once a week.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the habits that we've been able to cut back on, and it's been great. Yeah.
It's so interesting to me because that was our biggest habit that we had to overcome. We were eating out and there's just the two of us, and we were spending crazy amounts of money when it was just the two of us. And it's those simple or like small, it's never super simple, right? It's just
Right.
it's straightforward but maybe not easy, but those small little tweaks that we make that can have a huge impact. So and I love that you had pages and pages of
Yeah.
your ideal life, like what your dream life would look like. And that not only helps you to understand the path that you need to take, but it also helps you like keep motivated. So that's great you did that.
And the thing is that even before, I always say, oh, I'm a big dreamer. I have, huge goals. But really all they were up until this point were their wishes. Oh, I wish I could own the house. I wish I could, take a trip to Cancun or whatever.
Ooh,
Those were wishes. They were never truly goals. So now it's a lot different. And that's what helped start the process of being able to turn those wishes into actual goals that we have a game plan for.
And don't they feel a lot more tangible now? Like you can actually make it happen?
Totally. Like I'm so sure that we're going to be debt free by next year. I'm sure of it. I'm 100% sure of it.
That's so exciting. I can't wait to hear more about your whole journey along the way. This is so fun.
Yeah.
So, let me think. So what do you think is your family's biggest goal? Is that it then? Is debt free?
It's debt freedom, but we currently live in a family owned duplex. It was mine and my mom's idea to purchase this duplex 15 years ago. And we did it, but I was never on the loan for the house. And so we ended up moving away and then ended up moving back because we knew that the only way to make our lifestyle possible, our first attempt to try to, better our finances. So we moved back here because it was more affordable. And now my biggest goal is not only debt free, but to be able to put the house under our name and and make sure that my mom has a comfortable rest of her life and that, we could be here forever. I don't want to move. I don't ever want to leave this place. So
that's a good feeling to have. Home. It's your home, home. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So with your new positive attitudes and habits with your money, have you found it hard, like socially? And maybe this also would apply to your girls too, because they have more of an effect on their lives versus like young kids who are just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
for
so
sure.
Sometimes I hear from a lot of people that are like college students or like my friends want to go out to eat all the time, but I have to say no. How has that affected your social life?
So it's difficult. It was extremely difficult this month because my niece got married in Cancun.
Oh.
And we ended up saying that, we weren't going to go because we couldn't. I mean, the truth is, if I wouldn't have started this year, I would have done everything in my power. I would have not paid my car. I would have done whatever it took to make sure that my family was in Cancun this month. And we didn't do it. We just said, no, we can't. We can't. It's just not something that's feasible for our family right now. We have long-term goals. So that was hard. And
that's a big one.
It was a big one. And to see my family out there and for my girls to see my, the pictures and everything. But I just keep telling them it's gonna be so good when it's our turn to be able to do those things and not have to come back home and worry about, oh, this didn't get paid, that didn't get paid. That would have been a nightmare, and we would have been living it right now.
Yes, but you're not. I literally just got the chills. Like that is powerful that you guys were able to make that decision as a family and stick with it because you're right. Like, I mean, how many people have done that? That's put all of this money in debt to go on a vacation, and it's fun while you're there, but the moment you get home, it's like double worse than what it was before you left. Yeah, totally. And
we've done that before, so we didn't want to do that again.
Yes. Good for you guys. That's amazing. That is a hard one with family too. So, and how was it hard? Like, how did your family take it? Your extended family that was there?
I don't think they understand. And, they didn't take it in a bad way. obviously they were sad that we weren't there.
Sure.
But I mean, it was just hard. It was hard for everybody, for us not to be able to be there, and then, you know, for me to, she's my second niece, you know, so for me not to be able to be there, it was very difficult. But at the end of the day, you know, I told him, like, it's just not something that we can do right now. And, you know, eventually there'll be other opportunities for us to spend time together and maybe have a beautiful vacation like that as a big family. And hopefully that day does come. But if it doesn't, then it's okay. It's okay, because, you know, other things will happen for us.
Yes. You guys
Yeah.
are strong. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
So to kind of wrap it up, what do you think, if somebody was in your position 1 year ago, what advice would you give to them to get started and to keep going, maybe? Because sometimes there's hard things and we fall off the wagon, and it's hard to get back on. So what advice would you give to somebody?
I think through the process, I've also learned not to be so hard on myself,
Oh,
because I was
good.
so hard on myself. Oh, we're in the situation because I put us in this situation. And so if that was the main advice that I could give somebody, it'd be that. Don't be so hard on yourself. And you're not alone. You know, I come to realize, you know, you think, oh my goodness, it's so embarrassing. You know, we're the only ones that are going through this. You feel so isolated. But
Mm,
the truth is that you're not the only one that has made mistakes with their money. There's tons
no.
of people who have done it. And I'm still working through that, you know, embarrassment. Like, I can't I know that I'm gonna get there, you know, at some point. So don't be afraid, and that, you know, don't allow yourself to live in that, like, fog. And that's how I feel. I feel looking back at myself, is that I feel like I was just living in this fog where I wasn't confident. I was living in fear. I was so hard on myself. You know, I don't remember the things that I should have, you know, remembered. So yeah, don't be so hard on yourself, and just start writing down what it is that you know you wish you could do with your life, you know, just there.
That's
It
perfect.
really was that simple. So it's amazing how good you feel about yourself once
Yes.
you've done something about it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No
I'm feeling
problem.
motivated from speaking with you. I know all our
Thank you.
pearls
I
are
am
going to
too.
feel the same way. And I am so excited to stay in contact with you and keep learning from you, because that's what we are all here for, is like, we all have different perspectives and
Right.
different ways that our families work, and we can all totally learn from each other. So thank you
Totally.
so much for
No
taking the
problem.
time. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well.
Good. Thank you. And thank you to all our pearls for joining in today. This is a new series that we're starting where we are chatting one-on-one with some of our pearls here, and just learning from each other. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will talk to you guys all very soon. Bye.